Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans. I'm here with Merc with the mic.
What's going on? What is going on, world?
Chillin', chillin', Merc. What it is.
Um, Not much, not much. I caught up some movies. I watched. I seen Flash. I've seen the new Transformers.
Okay. So how's that?
So I'll go with Transformers first. This is the Beast. Introduction of the Beast Wars into the movie franchise and stuff. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought like the action was cool. I always had issues with the people in the movies, but I did not like. I did not find them that annoying in this one. Usually, I get annoyed with the people really fast, and I just want robots. But I thought they were pretty good. I thought the story goes into a direction that I actually think is kind of cool for the franchise. So I'm gonna give a spoiler alert because I don't care. I spoiled it. So in the ending, goes into a dude that worked for kind of a CIA. So the Spanish kid that's in the movie, he kind of mimic. Mirage is a cool character because he could like change his robot to a bunch of different things, but he was able to actually give him a piece of him to make a whole like robot suit off of.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So like in the ending, he helped the Transformers win and things like that, and there was a guy that kind of like was a like directly hired asked for him to get hired for a job, so he pretty much went to the job interview and everything like that. And then he was like, "Yeah, we know all about you. We know everything. Your friends and you and your friends could come and help us fight the war." And he was like, "My friends? What friends?" And he was like, "Your big friends." And then he gave him a card, and you see GI Joe Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna combine GI Joe Transformers for the next movie, which
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. I think it's cool. Like, hey,
So the name, they didn't. Well, I doubt it, but it's probably gonna be called GI Joe's Transformers or Transformers GI Joe.
yeah, I think so.
Okay, okay.
I think
That's
that's cool.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
that's a cool
Very
direction.
interesting, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cool direction. I was like, all right, cool. But I did like the movie. Mirage was talked by Pete Davidson. I don't care for him that much, but he was not bad as it. And then also, his robot was pretty cool because again, he was a Mirage, so he was able to change into different things. Like he was able to change into a Lamborghini or a little punch buggy or a freaking motorcycle or things like that. No matter what he wanted to change, he could change into. He was pretty cool. Bumblebee was back. He was not in the whole movie, but he comes back later on. Optimus Prime was old school Optimus Prime, which is pretty cool. But he was kind of a just a nag more than anything. But I liked the Unicron storyline with Surge coming to kind of like get the world prepared for Unicron to eat it and shit, and the Transformers are the ones that are pretty much stopping him, and it was these keys that needed to be used to stop it and stuff like that. Really good movie. It was a fun movie, and I like the fact that how it continued off of Bumblebee.
Ah, I got you. Okay, okay.
And then The Flash. Um, so I was not gonna go pay to see this movie. I'm not gonna support the whole Ezra Miller shit, but I will watch a bootleg. I watched the bootleg, and Michael Keaton stole the show. I'll tell you that much. Like his scenes were pretty fucking dope. It was cool seeing him and his whole bat array and things like that. But even before they actually knew he was Batman and stuff like that, he was like a weird. He was just a fucking long beard old man that no one knew about and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Some of the cameos were crazy. Like they had this whole multiverse because when he was going into the Speed Force, you saw multiple versions of everyone and kind of see the whole like DC comic movies in the whole in this universe and like the of Flash going into the space and time. So you see the likes of Christopher Reeves, you see George Reeves, you see Nick Cage as Superman fighting the fucking Spider. You see the multiple versions of Batman. You see George Clooney. You see there's like a lot of little cameos and shit like that because George Clooney comes out as Bruce Wayne. Um, it does a really good fan service if you're a fan of the DC movies. This is like a nice, good way to say goodbye to it and all, and they did a good job. As in watching the movie and the actor that played Flash, I don't think if you would have changed him, I don't think you would have. Yeah, I think we still would have had the same movie. Just the fact that he wasn't that great in it. I never liked him as Flash to begin with, but got to a point that like I honestly felt like they could easily change him and no one would have batted eye.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He wasn't an impressive. He wasn't impressive in it. Like he didn't do like such a great role. Like oh my god, he should always be Flash. No, he wasn't that great. He was whatever. His performance wasn't the greatest thing, and then the suit looked. He looked like he was wearing a rubber condom suit. Like his suit looked weird. I did not care for this Flash suit at all. The seeing Ben Affleck as Batman back was kind of cool. Seeing the little scene in the beginning for it. But other than that, like it was a solid movie. I'll say when it comes to streaming, watch it. It was pretty good. But again, I will say that yeah, they stood their strong point, saying, "Oh, we defend this movie, we're gonna keep going and stuff like that." But you could easily, 100% easily change them. If you got someone decent, if into that change, I think you could have still had a better movie. Just because I don't think he was that great in it.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
And you deal with three versions of him, which is even more annoying because I find the one version of him annoying, and then he goes into three different versions. I found them all three annoying.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that was it. But yeah, I got to watch those two movies. Um, I picked up Diablo.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Did you get
Um,
to play it yet or
I
no?
played a little bit of it. I didn't get to like that deep into it. I started with the Necromancer.
Mhm.
Because I think you were talking about it, and I was like, huh, I'll try that one first then.
True.
Um,
True.
so I'm enjoying it. It's a pretty looking game, and I just need more time to sit down and play. I haven't had time to really sit down and play this weekend, so but I look forward to playing it more at work when I use my tablet and shit.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Any updates? How's Diablo with you?
Uh, I almost finished the story. I think.
Okay.
I know I was playing with my friend yesterday, and we just ran through the stuff that I already did, which is it's good that they let you skip a lot of stuff
Yeah.
on like a fresh character on the same file without actually having to beat the game
Yeah. Okay.
because you know you can make more than one character
Yeah.
and the progress from the furthest one um they don't gate you from what you've like the stuff you know how cutscenes just literally don't let you skip them
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
or whatever, yeah, so they don't do that in this game, so thankfully we just run through, skip everything, and get back to where I was. uh I tried the druid this time
Okay.
with my friend, which is like the it's not the warrior, which is like the run up inside of a big circle of enemies and just start swinging.
Yeah.
This one is more like shapeshift into an animal and then just do like large amounts of damage that way.
Okay.
So you could turn into a giant bear. You could turn into a werewolf, which is the one I picked, or you could like stay human and have like nature magic is what they call it, like lightning and tornadoes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided to do the werewolf because the werewolf was cool. So and
Yes.
it's fun. It's fun
Nice.
running around, slapping people up, cutting them up, and then once again, it has certain moves. You know what? The cool thing about that class is one of the specials, what they call ultimate abilities, at the end of the character's chain, or not chain, the what do you call it? The tree.
Yeah.
It has like basically a maximum spider.
Okay.
So like in a large area on in the middle of the screen, like it draws a giant circle, and with everything within that circle, your character starts doing like teleporting and slashing them like
Nice.
or flying back and forth like Spider-Man would. So it's cool to see all the different stuff they do with the individual characters because that's not like the other classes. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay,
Nice.
okay. So it's still going. It's still fun. Um, the other thing, let's see, that and just look because I think since I'm almost finished. with the story stuff, that's when you get to, I think they call them this thing called Nightmare Dungeons.
Yeah.
And that's like, I guess you start at level 50, I guess. Or maybe it doesn't really open until you beat it, but I think like level 50 is the lowest level you can normally enter them.
Okay.
I think because they anticipate you beating the game around that. So I get that. But that's like the next big thing to do because obviously the game has more difficulties and stuff to go through.
Yeah.
'Cause I think the max level is 100. So
Yeah, I think
we'll
so.
see.
Cause I think the first one was like that too.
Because I know I've
No,
seen
three.
80. I don't know if it's 100 yet. So we'll see. Anyway,
Cool.
it's cool.
Nice.
Definitely cool stuff. As far as other stuff coming down, I think we're on the other end of all that stuff because all the news was like the big news was last week.
Yeah, we covered it.
There's a few little things here and there,
Yeah.
I guess. You know what I mean? Like there's some more there's some more tournaments involving Street Fighter. I just wanted to shout out Brooklyn Arcade. They were doing their Jazzy Arcade series this past week, and I think they're
Nice.
still doing it this weekend. Again, that's a thing in New York, so if you guys ever want to go down there, they have their address and stuff, and they follow us on Recyclonic, so
Nice.
always good to support a local business. They are homies, so that's
Yeah.
about
So
it.
they did. I know New York. Video Games New York did a Street Fighter 6 tournament up in Dave and Buster's for the game release.
Do you know if they did it the day of? I mean, like
The
the
day of,
actual.
yeah.
Okay, cool, cool.
I remember them doing it there. I saw like the invite because again I followed them and stuff too.
Mhm.
But it was cool. Seafire is still getting a lot of love. It's been very strong. It's the sale. It's going crazy with sales right now.
Did you finish
I finished
the
a
World
world
Tour?
mode. I finished world mode recently. I'm still like trying to 100% like some of the characters, but I finished world mode. It's a weird, silly, damn story, but JP is pretty much the new villain of everything, and supposedly he's like a clone. I don't. So I watched some videos and kind of the patching of who JP is and stuff like that, and not really no one knows 100% what
Yeah,
he
cause
is.
there's no Capcom didn't put out a lot of information for the new characters, so
But from what I was hearing from a lot of their suspicions is that he might be a Bison clone or one of the people that trained with Bison.
I
'Cause there was three
I
people that trained with Bison. They feel like it might be one of the three that trained with Bison.
that would make sense because he's an older guy.
Yeah,
But I think the other thing is just that he's the new house for Bison's psycho energy or
yeah,
whatever. Because before the game came out, people had took the pictures of his moves and stuff, and they show that purple stuff that he's throwing out. It has a physical, well, it has a human form in there,
oh, okay.
and some people are saying you could see like Bison's face in there.
Ah, I didn't
Because
notice
when he
that.
dies, he never like dies because he put himself in a psycho drive. Like that's what this is from Alpha when he
Yeah,
did that. That's why he always comes back. It just takes time.
yeah, because it wasn't isn't Seth's like body is like is one of the building clones of Bison as
It was
well.
supposed to, yeah, in Street Fighter 4 story, it was supposed to be a body for Bison.
Yeah,
And then I don't know what Seth, I forgot what Seth was that he took it over, but it was supposed to be. It, it's kind of why Jury is related to that whole thing as well,
yeah.
because you can see she has like the purple energy.
But I
I'm not
heard
sure if they said she has psycho energy, but I think he wanted to take her also.
so I heard what jury is because each one was probably like I think each because I remember him taking data of people's fighting styles and stuff like that, and Yuri is supposed to be like an evil version of Chung Li.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
He went and got a evil Chun-Li. She's
yeah,
not a made up person. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. She didn't just come out of nowhere. She's a real person. It's
No,
just
but
that
they developed her to take over like because he wanted Chung Li under his wing, and he didn't get it. So
mm
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get my own.
makes sense. But she works. I think she doesn't work for Bison. She works for herself
Yeah,
or whatever his organization is. I think it's called Sin.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened in 4 that they didn't really close like the book on. So we'll see. Because again, Ed is supposed to be in the game. He's from 5.
Yeah.
Technically, he has to do with 4 because you see him as a kid in 4.
Yeah.
He's the little boy that Balrog saves.
Oh, okay.
So again, like there's some stuff that's still holding over from the story. So we'll see. But yeah, it looks more probable than not that he has a direct connection to Bison.
Nice.
Mhm. And I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like they just wanted to make an evil banker
Yeah.
type character. That's because his name is JP, of course, JP Morgan.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get, I get that.
That'd be interesting. Like again, I'm liking what they're going with the game, but the story's kind of confused the shit out of me. I was watching like
Hmm.
I did deep dives on the whole history of each character and shit, and it's just like, yo, yeah, I could just confuse the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's not really. They didn't do a good job up
Yeah.
until I think up until Street Fighter 4. They didn't do a good job because remember the game keeps going back and forth.
Yeah. I
They
think.
still haven't passed the Street Fighter 3 timeline. I don't think. I think
Yeah.
this is the first game. Maybe
Yeah.
they don't
This.
even really.
So the
Did
date
like
of this one's supposed to be after Street Fighter 3.
which is supposed to be after 5
Yeah.
because 5 was supposed to be right before 3.
Yeah.
So I hope that's official. We'll see where they go. Because Gil's supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Because Alex beat him or killed him or whatever. But then they never show you that in the game. In the game, like in the
Yeah.
story stuff, you could look up the comics and stuff. Yeah, that already happened. But like in the games, they
They haven't done it
always
yet.
seem very hesitant to put like a stamp on like the end of a character because I
Yeah.
know they just want to be able to bring him back. I know that.
Yeah.
Like if they say they kill Gil, then they probably like, well, we can't bring him back now. We gotta wait till the next game or something like that. So
You know how we
who
fucked up.
knows? Yeah, exactly. So we'll
Street
see.
Fighter,
We'll
get your
see.
shit together. Yeah, confuse me.
I do hope they explain some stuff when the new characters come out for the new characters at
Yeah.
least, right? Explain why is Ed still here? Why is he still fighting? He's free.
Why? Why?
Go
Why?
away.
Why are you wearing sandals now? Well, his feet got hurt.
I think he saw Akuma wearing sandals. Was like that guy's stronger than me. I need to wear sandals. Because if you notice, Akuma almost always wears sandals. Like
Yeah.
in like the old games, he didn't. Like Street Fighter 2,
Yeah.
when he first appeared, he ain't no sandals on. But in Third Strike, he got sandals on.
Yeah.
And some of his costumes in 4, he has sandals.
Yeah. I don't get the
Not all of
sandals.
them. I'm just saying. So,
Yeah.
but that's good that you at least liked whatever their weird take on the story mode was, which is
Yeah.
cool.
It was cool.
Which is cool.
It was cool. I wish it was more in depth, or it just had more variety. But other than that, it was cool. It was a cool like it was a standout thing though. I think they did a good job with it. I can see them doing that more in the future and probably really elevating it.
Yeah, it's probably I guess you could say it's probably the best story attempt they put in the game because the 5 was just weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It took itself too seriously, and then there were parts when it didn't, and it was like it just felt uneven. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's a good direction. Yeah.
I agree. Um, I don't have a lot this week.
Oh yeah, the other thing was we talked about it because I didn't know it was happening. Was the thing about they released a trailer for Craven, and I
Yes.
was like, Craven, what? Why? Why does he get a full movie? But anyway, uh, you told me this was announced 2 years ago or more,
Yeah.
so it's not really out of nowhere. It's just it's happening now. It's just like that's fine, but then we know that Sony Studios has like a 50-50 track record because if it's not Spider-Man, you gotta watch out.
Yeah.
Because they don't be getting the best ones all the time. They don't be getting the best directors, man. Because they have Mobius under their belt,
Yeah.
Morbius,
Even
and
Scott
that
Steiner
ain't
hated
good.
that movie.
He hated it. He paid money for it. He's mad.
Yeah.
He mad. He's big mad.
And then
So
we got Craven the Hunter. From the trailer, I'm not really. I'm like. I don't know what to feel about the Craven. Like I was like, dude, did I really need to see a story about Craven? No, I
His
really didn't.
origin, like I don't a full length movie about his origin. I don't
He's the
know.
he's gonna be Jungle Boy all over again.
I mean, not if he gets beat by a dinosaur to winning a championship. I don't know. What's
No.
to do that?
But I
Oh
hope
no.
it's good. I hope it's good. I like the actor that's playing Craven. He was kick ass. He was also Quicksilver in the Avenger movie.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that is a good. Like he's a decent actor. To see where they go with this movie, I'm not sure. Again, I never asked for a movie about Craven. I don't care. So we'll see how this goes. Could be better than
I mean, it's got
Morbius at least.
what's we call it in it? It's got Russell Crowe. It looks like.
Yeah, but he's also just taking a paycheck right now, so I don't know.
I don't know the accent. The accent though.
That accent's his regular accent. He's talking regular.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
You,
he is.
he sounds like he's approximating a Craven accent.
He's he's talking with his regular accent, just without alcohol.
Or
With
a
alcohol.
phone? Of yeah, without a phone to throw at somebody.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
It doesn't look that good. It
I wasn't
looks.
asking for it. I wasn't looking forward to it. So we'll see.
Uh, I've never asked for this. I'm just like whatever.
I just don't understand the thought process of Craven. Like, do they insist on him being a major villain coming up? Like that's what they chose him. They like, all right, we got a few Spider-Man villains we want. Let's go with Craven because he's a man and he's not in a suit.
Yeah.
He doesn't like an animal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the rest of Spider-Man's rose galleries are dudes in suits that look like animals.
Yeah.
Kinda,
Yeah.
mostly.
Most of them.
Lizard is an animal. Rhino. It looks like they're showing Rhino in here, and they're changing up some stuff. So he looks like he's not a man in a suit. He's just a man that turns into a Rhino man.
Yeah.
Um, who else is a Scorpion? Like they want to do a Scorpion. Scorpion is a
They
man in a
teased
suit.
him.
You turn him into another man who turns into a Scorpion man
Yeah.
because that's what they want to do. They don't. Here's my problem, Mark. Whatever happened to men in suits? Why does everybody have to turn into? They're going back to like 2000 and whatever when Spider-Man 1 came out, where everybody's got to have their powers mixed into their DNA.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be a man in a suit.
I want more men in suits. I like the suits.
I like men in
Look at
suits
Vulture.
doing
Vulture.
evil
Vulture was a
things.
man in a suit.
Okay, but see that was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That was a Marvel
It's still
movie.
Sony, but it was on the Sony's banner. Now you did
No,
use him in Mobius.
but you know he that was a different like whoever got everything together. It wasn't them because it just didn't have that stink on it.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to say that, but
Well, at least Craven looks like he's a man in a suit because he has the lion chest piece and
no,
shit.
but he got animal blood in him.
Yeah.
Now he controls animals. Come on,
He's Aquaman.
you can't just be a man in a suit,
Yeah.
a crazy man who hunts people, who's got
What?
peak athleticism and whatnot. No, all
No.
right.
Well, that would be
No.
how long that movie was gonna be if they did that.
I mean, listen, if you showed a man training, it could take years to show his whole regimen. So you could do that. But I'm just saying, like, why they gotta make him like a mutant or whatever? You know what I'm saying? It's always that.
Yeah.
That feels like a cop out. That feels like the early 2000s. Like I said, we
They
don't
had
know how to
yeah.
make a man stand out. Let's just give him powers. Here you go.
The other Sony one is doing. Madam Web is coming.
I have no words because I don't. Not that I
I
don't care. It's just
mhm.
that does this character need a whole movie?
No,
I don't think so.
but they're gonna have other Spider people in the movie.
Which could be good. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't
Depends on
trust
who's
them.
directing it, though. That's
Yeah,
the
I don't
thing.
trust Sony. Like, if it was if they said, "Oh, it's gonna be animated," like I'll trust them. But if you're not
Hmm.
gonna be animated, I don't trust them.
Well, I mean, again, it's just the people that they get. Like,
Yeah,
if you get people like that aren't under contract that do good movies, like you could do that.
yeah,
You could do good movies.
yep,
You
yep.
know what I'm saying? It's just they seem to choose these people probably because they cheap.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy wants 15 million. We, but this guy he only wants two. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I I had more fun watching Super than I did even thinking about Craven the Hunter as
Yeah.
a movie. Just saying.
So as we go, you want to get into this movie?
Do you have anything else for this week that you got or you saw?
Um, Not really. I've been a quiet week. I do have stuff coming in next week, so I'll have stuff to talk about next week.
Okay. Oh
Cause
yes, that's showing up.
I got a new turtle. I got the big ass turtle figure. The colossal in the swamp. It's a
Mm.
big ass frog.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
yeah.
him.
Okay.
I got him coming in, so I have him. So I'll talk about it next week. Fucking, I know it's heavy. My friend was saying it was a really heavy figure.
Okay.
And it's just
Okay.
a big ass fucking. I think it's Napoleon. Big ass frog.
Oh, okay, okay. It's only one?
Yeah,
It's
it's
only
only
one
one.
of them?
Only one turned into it
Ah,
in the
understood.
cartoon. So yeah, it's only
Understood.
one.
Understood.
I think it's Genghis or is it Napoleon? It's one of the two. Anyway, get
Mm-hmm.
into this movie if you want to.
Yes, sir. So this week we have Super. One word. It is from 2010. It is rated R. It is an hour 36. It released. Oh, this was another Canadian joint. Toronto Film Festival when it premiered. Uh, and then on April 1st in limited, and then April 13th. It says video on demand. Wow.
Yeah, it
So
was straight to DVD.
it's straight to video. Yeah. Yeah. Even okay, so here's the thing. Like it has multiple premieres for video on demand is April 13th, and then it's like another has another date here, August 9th, video premiere. So I
Yeah,
assume one of those is when it came out for everybody to see. I forgot that I didn't even see that this wasn't in a theater. I only did see it on streaming.
yeah,
Okay. Um, this movie is directed by James Gunn,
yep,
and you can kind of tell
yeah.
because his brother's in
His brother and this dude, fucking
Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like actually there's quite a few people in this movie
Hmm.
that's usually in James Gunn's movies.
Yes, there are a few people. Yeah,
Like
which is cool.
Mika Hover, she's the voice of certain characters in Guardians and things like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Um, so it is also written by James Gunn.
yeah,
It is starring Rainn Wilson as Frank Darbo, Elliot Page as Libby, Liv Tyler as Sarah, Kevin Bacon as Jacques, what they call him Jacques, which I thought was funny. The subtitle said Jacques, and it made me die laughing.
yeah,
Because when Kevin Bacon says his name, it says Jacques
yeah.
with the Jaqes, but then when everybody else says it, it just says Jock.
Okay.
And I was watching it on Tubi because Tubi had it,
Yeah, I watched it on there too.
and I'm like, oh, they knew to subtitle it that way. That's funny. We have Greg Henry as Detective John Faulkner, Michael Rooker as Abe, Andre Royo as Hamilton, Sean Gunn, Toby. This man's name is Stephen Blackheart. Is his name really Blackheart?
I guess
Black
so.
with an E, Heart? His name is Quill. Don Mack as Mr. Range. Let's see who else we have. Linda Cardinelli. Cardellini as pet
Cardellini, yeah.
store employee. Now, let me just say one thing about her in the movie. And I just realized who she is because I see her
Yeah, she was
IMDb.
Avengers.
Like, I know who she is.
Mm, yeah,
In this movie, she looks like Mickey James. She looks
yeah,
like a very young Mickey James. And I was like, yo, is that Mickey James? Wait a second. This is 2010.
yeah.
Huh. Huh.
She
And it
looks
was a bit
dumb.
part. Like if it was, it could have you could have fooled me. Um, Nathan Fillion as the Holy Avenger.
That shit had me rolling. With the fucking
Yes,
wig. His
the best character.
James Gunn was the devil too.
Yeah, yeah. James Gunn was the devil. We have Grant Goodman as Young Frank, which is hilarious because the beginning of the movie is messed up. Uh, Paul T. Taylor as Frank Sr., Connor Day as Teenage Frank, James Gunn as Demon's Will. That's what they call him, Demon's Will.
Mm.
Rob Zombie as the voice of God.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. Okay. Steve Agee, usually Stephen Agee, the comedian, as comic book store jerk. I think that's about it. I mean, there's probably some other people that I don't not 100%. Michelle Gunn as Lion Butter, but yeah, Lion Butter's girlfriend, the lady that got hit in the face with the wrench.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus, that's his sister.
that's
Uh,
fucked up.
is that James Gunn's sister, or is that his wife? Who is this woman?
That's his sister.
His sister.
His wife is the chick in Peacemaker, the blonde chick in Peacemaker.
Is she in this movie too?
I don't think she's in. I don't even think they were together at that time.
Oh, okay, 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 gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Lloyd Kaufman as 911 man. Um, so let's see what it says. After his wife falls under the influence of a drug dealer, an everyday guy transforms himself into the Crimson Bolt, a superhero with the best intentions but lacking in heroic skills. Um, that is putting it very lightly.
Yeah,
Uh, so basically, Rainn Wilson's character becomes disenfranchised with the world because his wife leaves him. He recounts his entire life when this happens, and he has had not the best life. he
yeah,
has not. He has had extreme moments that would cause anyone trauma. Um, so he is messed up, and her leaving him was the camel that broke the final straw. He then starts going to a comic book store after he watched. Was it an infomercial or was it just a TV show with the Holy
I
Avenger?
think it was like a kids show, like a PBS kind of
It
shit.
was a weird, yeah. Well, it was a weird ass kid show. So he is looking for something, a sign, and then he sees the Holy Avenger, which is a superhero, a religious superhero, and it has these two kids. I should find their names, but like these two the static because they always show up. Two kids that he talks to help them get through the bad things that happen.
Yeah,
First thing was the fact that they didn't like to eat junk food. I think it was.
yeah,
So all the other kids were all messed up, and then those two were the only ones fine.
yeah,
So they were trying to. It was slowly. It was not slowly. It was really just a vehicle for like a PSA, basically.
yeah,
Those were like PSAs. So he sees the PSA with the two kids, and the Holy Avenger inspires him to become a superhero, uh, fueled by faith, I believe, is mostly what it is. Because he becomes more in tune with his faith. He thinks he was touched by the finger of God on his brain, and that whole scene is ridiculous. Like I think that's one of the things that I like about this movie is that it's grounded in reality, but there are a lot of things that happen where they just take liberties and it's just they use the fact that it's a movie
yeah,
so they can have ridiculous things happen and then have you question whether or not that really happened
yeah,
because they never elaborate on whether or not that was a hallucination or what because he wasn't on anything, he was just messed up in the game,
yeah.
and he saw tentacles come out and tear open his head and the finger of God tippy tapped the tippy tip, as the Holy Avenger said, of his fingertip on his brain and inspired him. So whether or not that was real, I don't know. Whether or not the Holy Avenger was actually giving him hints towards
Yeah,
the end with the wink wink, you'll never know. Maybe he was just crazy. And I think that's pretty much what
yeah,
they tried
yeah.
to
He
say.
was crazy.
He just had so much stress and trauma, he lost his mind. Um, and he becomes a superhero after Libby just ask him literally, how come nobody ever become superheroes? And she's the comic book store clerk.
Yes.
And so that's how they meet, and their friendship begins when he asks for a bunch of books at her recommendation of heroes with no powers. And so she gives it to them, and that starts him on his journey. That's when
Yeah.
he completes his suit. He does his little research, completes his suit, and he basically goes around his small town, staking out the places he knows there to be trouble. And the first thing is he beats up on this fake weed dealer
Yeah.
who tries to scam these two guys. He's like, it's just sunflower seeds glued to or some like a stick or something like that. After the guy was trying to give him this spiel about, oh man, you want this Thai stuff, man. The
Yeah.
ladies love it. And then right, you see in the background, uh, well, his name is Frank. What was his name wasn't Super, was it?
No, it was Crimson.
Crimson Ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
Crimson Ball. You see him across the street, run across, and then he just tackles the drug dealer and beats him up.
I think no, he meets the girl after this because then he realizes he needs a weapon. That's where he goes to
Oh yeah,
research.
yeah. No, yes, right, because she doesn't have the weapon first.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So he decides to go to like none and like, oh, I need one they have. And I need a weapon. And that's one thing he realized they had that he didn't have. So he
Mm-hmm.
decided on a wrench.
On a wrench.
And that
They don't
wrench.
ever tell you why. Maybe just because it matched his suit.
Yeah, it was fucking mean. Cause
Yeah,
he just
I
cracked
mean,
people with the
because
wrench.
again, good old James Gunn. I like the way that this movie is done. It's just that it goes for it. It's rated R. They don't hold. They don't hold back.
Yeah.
They don't hold back. Not even from the beginning of the movie. They don't hold back. So when he's hitting people with that wrench, oh, you see it.
Oh yeah.
And you see the damage it does. It is not good.
I'm surprised that no cops in town at
It's a
all.
small town. It's a very small town. They make
Like
it
no
seem.
one came and questioned him.
But they
Nothing.
have a big news station that looks like a national news network because it looked like any old like Channel 5, Channel 7 type of broadcast, but apparently they don't have cops like that.
He ran fucking the one on the line where he beat the fucking couple in the line. There are no cops to
Yes.
be found whatsoever in the city.
It was 2010. It was a different time. Cops wasn't hanging out at the movie theaters, man. It was a different time.
Yeah, that's what
What can I
I
say?
found it. Like I was like, there's no trail of any cops behind him.
Mm-mm.
He got posted on like the news, on
Mm-hmm.
the news channel. But other than that, there was like no cops searching for him
No
whatsoever.
coca. Uh-oh. I'm about to get this. Sorry, it's summertime. The mosquitoes is out here.
Yeah.
They trying. They trying. Um, but like the main plot really is Liv Tyler, his wife Sarah,
Yeah.
and Jacques, played by Kevin Bacon. Like she's the ex drug addict. They make that clear early on that she's a recovering addict. Kevin Bacon is taking advantage of her, using her basically to test his drugs, which
Yeah.
that's not good because in the end that'll easily end up with her overdosing. So he doesn't give a damn about her.
Yeah.
Um, you find that out. He sees that when they were injecting her later on in the movie, and that's when he kind of found out where their headquarters was, and he throws the.
Yeah.
I don't think he threw a wrench through the window. He threw something through the window,
Yeah.
and that's when they try to shoot. They try to kill him. They end up chasing him off the property, and that sets up for like the big climatic in battle, which I thought was actually done very well
Yeah.
for two real people going up against some drug dealers like that.
That's when he got shot in the leg, and that's
He
when
got shot in
that's
the
when
yeah
she became
in
the
the thigh.
sidekick and shit.
Yes, sir.
And that was kind of awkward. Some of their scenes were
Yeah,
awkward. Yeah, that
it
was
was,
like
but
really.
that's part of the I think the charm of this movie is not just a standard ass movie. It
Yeah.
goes places. It's rated R for a reason.
Yeah.
We're gonna use it, and I feel like some of the things that James Gunn did here with the concept of superheroes and why they do things, but also some things he did with the music.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, like the music punctuates like the ending and beginning of like the chapters of the movie.
Yeah, that's something he always does. Like he always implements good music into his movies. He always
Hmm.
finds look at the Guardians.
But this is this pre
This
Guardians
way
one or is
pre
this
yes
post?
yeah this is pre Guardians. This is like
That's
after
what I'm
Scooby
saying.
Doo.
So like I'm saying, this is him experimenting early.
Yeah.
This is like before Guardians.
Yep.
Um, I think it was a good job. There's a whole thing where his sidekick basically rapes him,
Mm-hmm.
but she don't. The thing about the movie is that you realize it's just full of a lot of unwell people
Yes.
in this small
Cause she
town.
was
These people are messed up.
Libby was psychotic as well.
Yeah, she had like a manic psychotic type of deal,
Yeah.
like where she was extremely excitable and basically went crazy. Like, if anything she liked, she went nuts. She
Yeah.
didn't just like it; she went nuts. Um, and you could tell she had a mean streak in her. She wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
Like when they go beat up that kid that she said keyed the girl's car, it
Yeah.
was like she wanted to kill him. So you could tell she got issues. Um, and let's just say it doesn't end well for this character. She kind of gets like one of the worst deaths in the entire movie.
Yeah,
So
that was crazy.
kind of crazy. She wore that vest and everything. I don't know, man.
Got a helmet.
She should have wore a helmet. Oh
Protect
man.
everything but your head.
So like again, like I gotta give the movie credit for going places. I gotta give the movie for subverting your expectations because you don't expect that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie you don't expect.
I wonder how much of a body count he had because hitting people with that wrench, if they didn't kill them, he kind of gave him a full
He
concussion.
so now the
Like, but
news thing made
but
it
when he
clear.
beat you fucking whacked them. It wasn't just one
Yeah,
hit
no,
too.
you're right. You're right. But the newspaper and the news, they both contributed to like letting you know what he was doing. So he didn't actually kill anybody. So he was never a murderer until the end.
Give him a hemorrhage in the head. That's where he.
Yeah. You're
They're
no,
eventually gonna die.
you basically made these people vegetables.
Yeah.
They're all on life support. They're all messed up. They're damaged, brain damage. Like, yeah,
That's
that's what a
funny.
wrench to the head will do to, to
It was fun. It was a fun movie.
this movie is one of my favorite superhero movies though. So, uh, did you have any characters that you liked the most that stood out?
I thought it was a well balanced. It got like Libby got a little weird with the whole situation. With the whole situation, I was like, why? Other than that, like I enjoyed it. Kevin Bacon was kind of funny in this movie. I think he was a good villain, and I forgot he was in this movie. I haven't watched this in a while, so it was fun. It was a fun movie. Like I said, yeah, that was something that was really fucked up. It's like, yo, he fucking whacked people. He gave hemorrhages and shit into people's heads. He probably concussed so many fucking people, and they're not gonna die now, but they'll die eventually. Like I feel like he set them up for
Yeah, pretty much. I
death.
mean, technically, you can say so does Batman because
Yeah,
he be doing stuff.
yeah,
That's all I know.
but
He does
yeah.
stuff. He says he don't kill people, but the way he
Oh
beat that
no,
man's
I
ass,
know Batman fucking beats your ass into like an inch of your life, and then he's like, "Oh, my bad."
you know what I mean? So a little bit of that. Um, yeah, this it's just got too many good characters. I like Michael Rooker in the movie. I actually like Kevin Bacon in the movie.
Yeah,
I liked Elliot Page's character. Like even Rainwell. Most people in this movie, like the
it
main
was good.
characters, I liked. It was just a bunch of like just very well realized characters, and I was like, okay,
I guess
okay,
Nathan Fillion was my favorite character. I think
yeah,
because I completely
yeah,
forgot about
he's a
that, and
good
this
one.
shit had me fucking rolling. That
Coley
wig was
is a
just
good
so
one.
bad.
Yes, in the muscle suit.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it was funny.
I mean even James Gunn as the demons will the devil
Yeah,
basically he was actually pretty funny.
yeah.
So like there's a lot of just a lot of good in this movie character wise. So I guess we get score now.
We give it
This movie I'm giving it a 4.5.
4 or 5. So yours 4-5. So your 4-5 consist of Kick-Ass, Iron Man, Scott Pilgrim, Sin City, Booty Tang, Blade 2. Yeah, that's it.
Who is at the top?
Kick-Ass.
Okay. So Kick Ass at the top. Uh, before Scott Pilgrim.
4. Okay. So this is your number 4. Alright. I'm gonna go 4. And it's going to be over X2. All right. So this is our last movie of 2010, and our next movies will be part of 2011. So the next movie on our list for next week is Green Hornet.
Have never seen it.
Yeah, I think it's Seth Rogen and this Asian dude that was in Ninja Assassin.
The main guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't remember his name off the bat, but
Yeah, it was dumb too. We got I Am Number 4, Thor, X-Men First Class, Green Lantern, Captain America, Cowboys, Aliens, and Conan the Barbarian. Those are all our 2011 movies. And then 2012, we'll go into Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Chronicles, Avengers, Men in Black 3, Amazing Spider-Man, Dark Knight, Rising, and Dread.
Okay, okay. Can't wait for Dread.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I watched it recently. It's really good.
Oh, you watched it? Okay, okay.
It was on. It just happened to be on. I just was watching the rest of it. Like I think it was on FX, so it was on regular TV, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep watching. All right, we wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. Make sure you check us out anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclone Inc. Make sure, make sure you follow our Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And we got a WordPress.
Yep.
Where you at, Mark?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. Or Mark the Mic. Follow my TikTok, Mark the Mic. I'll do a lot of bigger photographies. You'll probably see the new Colossus Frog on there soon, so definitely check that out. Also, shout outs to Tenacious T and his podcast, a pop culture podcast called Popcorny. Him and his boy Jeremy Sriracha, they host a podcast on Spotify. Check it out, Popcorny on Spotify. And always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hungry.
Hit people with wrenches.